Welcome back, Smite fans. What a thrilling game number one between Avant, Garde, and Pandamonium. It was basically one play that decided that game, Andy, and that was that Fire Giant call, that excellent counter engagement from Avant Garde that allowed them to push through and win the game.
And it's at the level of competition where one minor mistake or one major mistake, as it turned out to be, can cost you the game. Pandamonium finding that out to their peril there. Avant Garde could be on a bit of a forward momentum and a bit of a hype train right now going into game two. And we're about to go into the picks and bans here, but going into them, I expect to see a completely different draft from Pandamonium. I expect them to try and fight fire with fire here, and maybe even look to ban out the Scylla, because it did too much work in that last game.
Yeah, let's get ahead and start out the bans here. Get right into the action. Team Pandamonium taking the first pick option again here. Interesting to see how they change up their draft strategy here. As you mentioned, I think the Scylla pick was the big thing there. They need to take that one away from Divine. He just got too many crushes online. The root as well was super strong from him. Erlingshen banned out first here. I still agree with this. Take that one away from Chuckles. Allow Kikimio to not have to face that in lane.
Option going to go over to Avant Garde. I wouldn't be surprised to see them ban out the same things that they did before, which included the Jing Wei. That's being taken off the table again. Rob Diggity and Max not allowed to play that god just yet. Pandamonium back over to them. Scylla ban maybe?
It wouldn't surprise me. What did they ban out last time? It's going to take away the Amaterasu. All right, so they feel like that did too much. So,
okay, I could agree with that as well.
It does leave the Scylla open. I feel like the Scylla did more than this Amaterasu did.
Well, Pandamonium do have first pick options, so they can look to pick up the Scylla themselves. I mean, they would probably be giving up Terra, which has been left open. They could also be giving up Naja, which is a good combination with that Scylla. But they are going to look to pick up the Terra first yet again. I don't feel like it did too much to warrant that first pick.
I don't think it. I think it actually did. It gave them a lot of sustain and a lot of CC. It's just the follow-up of it wasn't there. However, what it has left open, which is devastating for them, is this Athena and the Scylla. So that's going to be... I wouldn't be surprised if Gruff again plays that Athena rather than Liquid Renegade in the jungle, and he looks to pick something else up here. Just because he still had such a fantastic game in the support role with it. All right, next couple picks coming through from Team Pandamonium. What are we going to see out of them? Probably going to look to pick up their mid again. Oh, it's... Are we on the same video? It's Freya and Nate.
Back. It's salty run back, boys.
Yeah.
Pandemonium felt that they felt like the comp worked. They felt like they could play it to the strength that it could be played at and win the game. Exactly the same conditions, but without that Fire Giant call. So maybe something that we don't know going up into scrims. But Avant Garde, they're picking up a Xing Tian here for their solo lane. Not a comp we haven't seen too much of.
Yeah, we've seen it being played by both Corvidae and Royalty, and neither of them were really able to find much success with it. I think Alpha Sydney as well were able to, played that one, were able to pick it, I should say, but again, didn't have much success. Sun Wukong banned away by Avant Garde, so again, digging into Kikimio's God Pool here. And now Team Pandemonium looking for their next ban. It's going to be the Bologna to take that one away from Liquid Renegade.
It's a smart ban because it would have given them, again, a lot of CC, a lot of setup for this Scylla. Just trying to limit the engage potential from Avant Garde to lessen the effect of the Scylla is what Team Pandemonium need to do at this point. But again, rather than taking away, Kikimio, again, going to be forced on to something he's not entirely comfortable with. And he didn't look comfortable on the tier last game. He got handled in the lane by El Chuckles. Less potential for that to happen with the Xing Tian this time, but he, again, needs to be careful in lane.
And Avant Garde, next pick coming through here. I think the Scylla is still the big talking point here, and a Thor as well. Still a Thor combination, one of the oldest in the game, particularly with an Athena as well. So that's definitely an Athena support now. Let's going to see something crazy like old Paradigm style Thor support, but you know, really, I think it's going to be the Thor jungle Athena support combined with a Scylla. It's going to be devastating for Team Pandemonium. You've got the Xing 10 there as well to burn beads, essentially Ares style. And this Team Pandemonium composition is essentially what they had last game, but just replaced the Naja with a Hunbats, which Ro has picked up for himself now. I want to, say again their stats in this. Prior to this series, Kiki never lost a game on Tier. Ro hasn't lost a game on Hunbats. Ochita hadn't lost a game on Neath. Richard hadn't lost a game on Terra. And Maxon hadn't lost a game on Freya. So the really high pick percentages here. Hoi picked up for Rob Diggity. Looking at Avant Garde prior to this series, Chuckles hasn't played a game of Xing 10. Liquid Renegade has played 3 games of Thor. Divine hadn't played a game of Scylla. Gruff hadn't played a game of Athena, and Rob had played 1 game of Hou-Yi. So what this is saying to me is that Avant, and this is why I think Panda's really struggled last game, is they don't know how Avant is going to perform on these gods. They didn't know, how they were going to combine their CC, how they were going to play this team comp. What I think is to their benefit now is they've had that 1 game. They've seen what Avant want to do with the Scylla, what they want to do out with the Athena. And I think they're going to be a little bit better equipped to handle it this game.
Well, going into the game, we see the junglers have opted away from the Wrath this time. At least Ro has Liquid Renegade still picking up that relic simply because he needs to get the Wrath. Otherwise, Elchuckle's Liquid Renegade could not clear the jungle at all and would have been so late to lane. By picking this up, it gives Elchuckles a chance of being able to assert some form of dominance in this lane against Kiki Omiya, but he is going to give up mid pressure for this.
I do like that Pandamonium with Ro, rather than staying in the solo lane and looking to potentially go for the fire elementals, has actually decided to just secure one side of the mid camps, because last game their mid camp control was horrendous. They didn't get any in the early game, and it just put Avant so far ahead that Team Pandemonium really struggled in the early game and allowed the Scylla to get towards the later stages of the game. But I mean, already we're seeing post 3.19 patch, Divine with the Scylla is just doing so much damage and clearing the way faster than this Neath.
It's really down to Liquid Renegade as well, just going a bit more aggressive than Pandemonium were expecting. I mean, if you're against a Neath Hombats and you see the enemy, you see yourself as the Thor going straight in to the enemy wave behind the enemy 2 gods, you think you're pretty much dead. But Liquid Renegade trust in Divine to help clear the wave, help put some damage onto Robochita to the point where they can't engage.
Renegades hit level 4 here. Rose still on level 3, will hit level 4 after a creep here, but we can see already a little bit of an experience difference going in favor of Vanguard. Because Liquid's going to hit level 5 just a little bit before Ro here. And with a Thor, you hit level 5, you're looking to gank a lane. And judging by previous games, it's probably going to be the solo lane and just pick on Kiki Omiya.
Well, out of everybody in the game right now, only 2 people from Pandemonium who do not have purification. Those are Kiki Omiya and Richard Castle. Richard Castle, however, does have a shell, so it's very difficult to get a kill onto him. But left-hand side, still some engagements going on. Gruff going aggressive, but he's quite low HP. Maxa gets the whoop. Now looking for the kill here, but not able to get anything. But Maxa gets turned on immediately.
Stunned out there by Rob Diggity. Richard Castle pops the shell, so that's going to be down for the next 140 seconds. So this could be the opportunity Liquid Renegade is looking for to tank this lane, and here he is sitting in the Gold Fury pit, waiting behind the Harpy, waiting for someone on Team Pandemonium to overextend, and now he turns his attention back to the mid lane here. Divine not level 5. He's so close to it, though. He has hit it now, so this could be the combination that they're looking for. Instead, Liquid Renegade just walks into the lane. No, he walks to the side of it and just farms up a little bit before backing for his boots. Oh, now he's going for a back camp.
He wants to farm as much as possible. The second he gets his back camp, then he'll back. He'll get boots and he'll walk straight towards his speed buff. It should get him there perfectly on time to then pick up that speed buff on cooldown, which is good jungle control and good awareness of his timers coming out from the jungle.
Alrighty, 3 minutes in the game, a little bit slower paced. Last time, we'd already seen a first blood and a couple of kills by this stage in the last game, but these teams a bit more wary of each other going into this one, a bit more, a bit less willing to engage and to commit. Avant-Garde, we saw what they did last game. They just basically took opportunities when someone from Pandas overextended, but didn't look to force anything in the early game, just looked to play their own style of game, and were able to get to a stage where the Scylla just became unmanageable for Pandas.
Well, in this game as well, Kiki Omiya has got the advantage in the lane. He's got the experience advantage, he's got the gold lead as well, so he is comfortable in this lane. He is A-okay, he's set, and he doesn't have to be a babysat this time by Ro. He didn't get babysat last time, but he needed to have something happen to him to get himself back with parry without Chuckles. But now Ro has the freedom of the map to try and gank.
Exactly right, and it's also going to mean that Chuckles isn't going to rotate terribly much here early. Really changed a lot of team fights in the early stages of the game. If Kiki Omiya can start doing that, we saw him hit, don't get me wrong, Kiki Omiya got bullied in lane by Chuckles, but once he got out of that lane and was able to start contributing in team fights, he was hitting 3 4-man fearless power cleave combos that, if the team had been there around him to follow up on them, or if he timed them just a little bit better, would have been absolutely devastating for his team, but just unfortunately it wasn't the case.
No, and both these teams playing very cagey as well, because they recognize that this could be the match that decides who gets first seed at lab. And El Chuckles could have Neath ult up on top of him on his right-hand side. Kikyo unwilling to dive the tower at this stage, but it does force El Chuckles to back without his teleporter.
The Kikyo should get a free wave here. Liquid Renegade is rotated over. If Team Pandamonium recognizes they could engage in the mid lane here, unfortunately the call doesn't come out. The Liquid Renegade's there. I don't think Kikyo has spotted him. So Ro, unwilling to engage with the Honbat's ultimate. Kikyo spotted out the Thor, but Ro has already gone to a back camp here, not going to be able to find anything in the mid lane.
And Gruff and Divine, they're still sitting as a pair, which means it's still very difficult to engage on this Scylla or on this Athena. Both of them have good CC to help dissuade and potential engagement from Richard Castle or from Ro onto either of them. But look at Ro's rotation path coming around the back here on the mid camps. This is the made by Richard Castle.
And there is the Fear No Evil. Excellent purification from Divine. Doesn't have the Sentinel available. They're just going to be able to walk away. The damage wasn't there. Liquid Renegade slamming down, misses the ultimate. But yet again, you know, Pandamonium, they get the setup, but don't have the follow-up.
And once more, that's a couple of ultimates wasted by both teams. No kills coming out on top of it. Avant-Garde, again, it favors them because they have this Scylla, have this massive team fight presence, whilst Pandamonium, yes, they traded out the Najal for the Hombats, which does give them a bit more of oomph factor in that team fight, but it's still nowhere near the same as Avant-Garde's.
Alrighty, 6 minutes into the game, still no kills on the board, which is very unusual outside of an EU game, and especially in OCE where teams like to fight so much.
Well, again, it's just good defending of everybody else on the team by both sets of players here. Pandemonium, they've been the aggressors in this game, but Avant-Garde, I've said it before, I'll say it again, they're fantastic at making sure everybody gets out alive.
Rough taunted Maxon here, but Maxon willing to take the fight here, doing some damage, and going to have the sustain from Richard Castle, so he's going to be just fine.
Yeah, and he's got the Fatalis online, as well as Maxon, as well as his Soul Stone, so he's got a fair bit of magical power coming out from that starter item, as well as the Fatalis to allow him to effectively box Rob Diggity and catch up to him if he so chooses. But Rob Diggity, he does have that Sunbreaker ultimate available to him, but in the mid lane, it's going to be gank here onto Divine. Ultimate's expanded left, right, and center. Maxon makes his rotation as well, and he gets first blood.
And Divine managed to use the purification, but just couldn't get the Sentinel over the wall in time. So this time, you know, Maxon rotates in, gets the first blood, gets the kill. Very important for Team Pandemonium, having that Freya with that little bit of extra gold at hand, puts him up ahead of Rob Diggity and just gets him that a little bit closer to that stage of the game where he can start carrying.
But Pandemonium, they recognized that Divine's purification was still down from the last engagement, and just the second that Fear No Evil came up, the second that Ro was able to go in and use his ultimate, he went in there and used it, as well as Ochita using his Woolweaver ultimate. But they're looking for a kill to Rob Diggity now as well. He's going to dive bomb away back underneath his tower. Good zone coming out from Richard Castle and Maxon.
Yeah, so just keeping this lane pushed up, keeping it aggressive, not having Maxon forced under his tower. Just getting this Freya, they're just recognizing that, hey, last game, you know, the Freya got to a stage where she could do some damage, but not truly carry. We need to get her to that stage where she can carry in this game. And we need to try and pick on Divine in the mid lane so he doesn't get to the stage where he can carry.
Well, it's also got better peel potential with that
Liquid.
Evil. Going up to the air is Thor, looking to try and dunk down onto Maxon or Richard Castle. It's going to be Maxon, forces out the purification and the Valkyrie's discretion. So, good potential for a kill now for Avant-Garde as they look to dive the tower.
Yeah, Gruff taunts him in, but Maxon manages to back away. Now Maxon turning onto Gruff. Defender of Olympus used as well. Maxon picks up the kill with the basic attack there. Just a simple basic attack was all that it took after the burst damage that came through from him and Richard Castle. And now, suddenly, this Freya's up 2-0. She's up 300 gold in lane and forcing a wave under. Team Pandemonium, you know, it's not a lot here, but it's definitely looking better than last game.
Looking fantastic compared to last game. Whilst last game Avant-Garde were able to trade out kills left, right, and center with Pandemonium, this time Pandemonium are able to get kills advantage, able to get gold experience in their favor as well. Avant-Garde had a lot of setup going into the mid game because of the fact that they were still even. This time, when they're behind, I'm going to be interested to see exactly what they do to combat this.
All right, big groupings from both teams here on the left-hand side of the map. Maxon and Richard Castle. This is a play that Team Pandemonium love to do and invade the red buff. You know, again, it's all about combating Eye Divine. They're trying to get him to lose a little bit of wave clear, lose a little bit of damage, and just slow down his progression. But also, if they can get that onto Maxon or Ochita, it just speeds up their own progression towards the later stages of the game and allows them to do more damage, obviously.
We haven't talked too much about the jungle matchup between Thor and Hombaz, but both of these junglers have amazing use out of the Hydra's Lament because both of them basic attack cancel with their abilities. Especially with Thor, if you dump your kit with the basic attack in between it with Thor, you're gonna increase your damage output by 15 to 20%, which then gets compounded with this Hydra's Lament up to about 30%, which is absolutely ridiculous. But instead, he's gonna go into the Yona's Wrath, give himself a bit more cooldown reduction, just to try and help out his team a bit more and get Eye Divine a bit more security in his mid lane.
I like what Kikiamiya's done here first. Got a Pestilence as his first item after boots. So it's a lot of magical protection. 200 health, which is a good amount, not huge. It's just going to make it very difficult for him to get soloed in lane like we saw last game. But it's also going to reduce the regeneration of this Jing 10 and reduce the healing that comes out from a meditation.
Well, if you think about it like this, his heal is just a base heal, depending on how many targets he hits. Doesn't get increased through power, it gets increased through levels, but that's it. And if you have a lot of health online, that heal then just becomes that less effective. Because if you have 2,500 health, that heal will do about 10% of your HP. If you have 3,500, maybe 4,000 health, that does about 6% of your total HP, which is a lot less of an effect.
Kikimiya was looking to invade the blue buff there, but Chuckles is able to clear it in time. Looking towards the left-hand side, a lot of vision around this Gold Fury, not really much else across the map from either team. Team Pandemonium really want to make sure they start securing this objective. In the last game, their objective plan is pretty much what really let them down, particularly that Fire Giant where they leashed it too long.
And again, coming out from Avant Garde, 2 Celestial Legion Helms. This time it's going to be less effective against Ro because his kit isn't based entirely around crits, but it's still going to lessen his damage potential from his abilities and basic attack cancelling.
Well, it's just a smart pickup on the characters that Avant are playing, because it's still 60 magical power, which is a respectable amount, but it's 90 physical protections, which is a huge amount. Like, you look at something like a Breastplate of Valor, and the difference between these two items is tremendous in terms of physical protection. It's just going to reduce the damage that not only comes out from Ro and from Kikimiya, but probably more importantly, that comes out from Ochita as well. Going to make his ultimates a little bit less devastating. Maxon taunted in there, but is able to get out of the way with help of that Terrace Busting ultimate. Liquid Renegade, up into the sky he goes, looking to find a target here. Who's it going to be? It's going to be Maxon again. Does he have the Valkyrie's Discretion available? He does, but he's not willing to pull the trigger yet. He needs to do it sooner, or it might be too late. Now he's getting the damage back, and he counters. Liquid Renegade falls down, and now it's Team Pandemonium's turn to look for something here, but Avant Garde are actually aggressing.
And it's because El Chuckles is here. He picks up the first kill for Avant Garde. They are finally on the board, and it's helped with that solo laner. And Kikimiya again not able to get into the fight. He's going in far too late here. Gonna get turned on by the rest of the members of Avant Garde as a 5-man. Diamond Monster comes out, does a lot of damage, but not enough to kill him.
El Chuckles is the one that gets the kill there onto Kikimiya. Ochita in the place. Crush does a lot here. Richard Castle doesn't have a heal available for another 3 seconds, so Ochita has to do what he can to just stay alive here. There's the Monolith. It's going to heal up Ochita a little bit. Avant Garde don't look to push the tower. They're looking to secure their buffs. I thought they might have looked at the Gold Fury.
A bit of frustration showed there by Kikimiya, in my opinion, just going in when he didn't really need to. They had a kill there, did Pandamonium. They didn't need to aggress even more. They didn't need to go in further. But instead, he decides to try and force more... He tried to force more kills. And it just wasn't going to happen. Instead, he falls down, Rogue falls down as well, trying to save him. And it's put Avant Garde's situation back into this game.
Alrighty, 13 minutes into the game. 3-2 who reads the kill count. Very kind of slow-paced game here thus far.
And whilst the last game it was a bit fast-paced, which favoured Pandamonium's team comp, this time is playing into the strength of Avant Garde's team comp, who want to get to that late game. Yes, Team Pandemonium do have this Freya, which is protected by a lot of peel potential coming out from Ochita, Ro, Kikimiya, and Richard Castle, but again, Avant Garde's team fight is absolutely insane. They don't have the instant CC burners like Ymir coming out of the jungle, but they do have the Thor, they do have the Shinten, which you will have to put Purification on if you are caught out by them.
Bro, he isn't actually going for a Jotun's Wrath after his Hydra's Lament. He's just going straight into a Titan's Bane here with some extra penetration and, you know, a bit more of a cost-effective method here. He's already got decent cooldown reduction coming through from the Hydra's Lament and physical power, the same physical power you get from Jotun's anyway. So he's just gone a bit more of a cost-effective method and gives him 33% penetration, which is a lot.
But think about it like this, if you get a Jotun's Wrath, you're just getting 10 flat penetration against the 90 physical protections coming out from Celestial Legion Helm. But if you get this Titan's Bane, you're reducing the Celestial Legion Helm physical protection to 60, effectively giving you 30 penetration against that item alone, which makes it a more effective pickup to give him more damage in this game.
And remember when Jotuns used to have 11 penetration? Those were the days.
If you built full penetration, it was overcapping by 1. That was so troll.
I hated looking at that 11 penetration. It just never made any sense to me why that was in the game. Like, I was like, there has to be an item that has like 4 or 9 penetration somewhere in it.
Yeah, just a hidden item in that tree that no one's ever bought.
Alrighty, 15.5 minutes in the game. 1,200 experience, 1,200 gold in favor of Team Pandamonium thus far. So, you know, keeping the lead kind of slightly in their favor in this game, whereas last game, Avant had a slender lead the whole game. Were able to turn it on later into the contest. So if this game goes anything like the last game, Avant's going to make a Fire Giant call and throw on it at around the 30-minute mark.
Hey, well... they're the ones with the Wrath, so they are the ones with the objective secure, especially with that Armor Monster coming out from Scylla doing a lot of instantaneous damage. You don't have the same thing coming out from Pandemonium. You have a lot of tick-based abilities, like that Pulse Radiates. Yes, each one of them will do a lot of damage by itself, but the damage comes out over time. But a good double taunt in the mid lane forces Purification, add a lot of damage onto a cheetah.
Armor Monster was pumped as well. Neath ultimate comes through. Ro hops up and down on the Scylla. Scylla Crush comes down. Gruff manages to taunt away. Max and Valkyrie's Discretion. One shot is going to be enough to pick up Gruff. Rob Diggity taken very low. Dishwasher comes out from El Chuckles, but only throws Maxon into a wall. El Chuckles walled in himself. Another great wall coming out from Liquid Renegade. This is Donald Trump's wet dream right here. Armor Monster off the mark. Doesn't hit anyone. The sustain is coming through from Team Pandemonium. They're looking to siege down this tier 1 tower.
Oh my god, they're trying to keep the Pandemonium out, but El Chuckle's gonna get banished up and hit again, and the wall comes out once more. Maxon taken low, but Liquid Renegade not committing to the kill, unable to pick that one up thanks to the healing coming out from Freya's passive, giving an extra life steal, but up into the echoes, Liquid Renegade and Avant, they want to engage here since the sprint is popped.
Oh, excellent ultimate there from Liquid Renegade, picks up Maxon, the spin to win after stunning him out. Ro trying to find a kill here in return, but a great taunt from Gruff locks him in. The crush isn't enough to pick it up. Liquid Renegade tries to get the double tap off, but Ro manages to actually blink away from the damage there, so a great turnaround by Avant-Garde.
They can actually get a kill to Avant-Garde, but they don't get anything else off of it. It's a 1-for-1 trade. They're almost getting Kikyo Mew there, but the Crush not doing as much damage as they did last game because Kikyo Mew's actually built some magical defense this time.
Alrighty, so Avant-Garde now backed away from the tier 1 tower. Gruff gets a 2-man taunt. Gonna be alright though. It's just preventing Pandemonium from doing any more damage to this tower. Gruff, I have to say, this is some really excellent Athena play coming out from him. It's really not the type of god that I've seen him play before. He likes to kind of, while Athena is a hard engage with a taunt, he loves to blink ultimates in with like a Scylla, a Sylvanas or a Geb, and a lot of supporty things with the Stone Shield and the heals coming through. This Athena though, where he's really doing a lot of damage himself, is something that I haven't seen from him before.
I would love to see support Scylla with Blink, just to go Blink, I'm a monster, and do somebody for about 800 damage out of nothing. Yeah,
that'd be pretty funny to see. Yeah, Chuckles has got a level advantage over Kikyo Mew in the solo lane now. I expect that's from the 2 kills that he's managed to pick up for himself here. But, Kikyo Mew is still doing a decent job in this game. He's hit level 17 now, whereas last game it took him up until about 25 minutes to get to that mark. So Kiki a little bit more of better farming and rotations in this game.
Well, it's not going up against El Chuckles' Amaterasu, which certainly does help matters when you're trying to farm in the lane. But if you're looking to evade the blue buff, actually forces out the Dishwasher, and El Chuckles, he picks up the blue buff himself. But Kikyo Mew, he's fine with that. He's fine just making sure that El Chuckles has to use his ultimate to secure his blue buff.
And that means it's not going to be available for the next team fight, so it's not going to be the Burner. Richard Castle actually taunted in and walled in as well. Crush comes through, and this is what Avant Garde did last game. They would just pick off the tank because Richard Castle isn't tanky enough to sustain through the damage. And now that he's down, there's no heals to sustain the rest of his team.
And this could open up the Gold Fury here for Avant Garde. And also the teleport coming in through from El Chuckles. The Wrath still is available for Liquid Renegade, which means that they do have to secure this objective. But they're trying to have a look for more kills. It's just been a bait, and Kikyomiyo's fallen for it.
Rush comes through, Lawbringer as well was used. Here comes Gruff and El Chuckles from the side. Excellent Spirit Arrow, but a better taunt from Gruff. I'm a Monster comes out. Double tap as well, lands onto Kikyomiyo. The double tap from the Ricochet nearly came off the wall, but Kikyomiyo manages to get away. This tier 1 tower in the mid lane, though, might not last as long. Liquid Renegade and Gruff were both whooped up into the air there, but 5 men of Avant Garde, I should say, take the tier 1 tower in mid row by himself. Split pushing takes the tier 1 tower on the left-hand side.
God bless tier passive there for Kikyomiyo, only being able to taunt for a second and then diminishing returns, making it seem like it was taunted for nothing there. But the Gold Fury again started up here. Rowe coming in, not able to get this video. He actually blinks into the Wrath.
And now Rob Diggity jumps on him, trying to secure the kill here with a Ricochet. Rowe, overhand smash, trying to get him. Terra's Blessing comes through, but Rob D 1v1 picks up the kill. Liquid Renegade slams onto Rowe's cold dead corpse. Gruff falls down, El Chuckle's taken low. Great wall from Liquid Renegade. Up comes the Valkyrie's Discretion, looking for Liquid Renegade, but he teleports through the wall. Divine as well. Power cleave there from Kikyomiyo, trying to find Liquid Renegade. Spin to win comes through. Kikyomiyo trying to find the kill. A basic attack will do it, but teleporting away is Liquid Renegade. Divine, though, not so lucky, and he falls down.
And now this opens up the tier 1 tower for Pandamonium in the mid lane. They lost the Gold Fury, which puts Avant Garde in the gold lead for the first time this game. But they could just get something off of it. They get 2 kills in trade of Rowe. But how unfortunate was Rowe there in that fight?
Oh, that was so unfortunate. Blinking to the Wrath, so he wasn't able to get the Fear No Evil off. That is just the definition of bad timing.
Oh, they
or
get
unfortunate timing, I should say.
They get the tier 1 tower in mid, do Pandemonium to trade out the Gold Fury as well as those 2 kills on the side of Pandemonium. Experience difference still favors them to the tune of 1,100, but gold difference now in favor of Avant Garde by just a slender bit of 350. This game's even still.
Exactly right, but just like last game, the later it goes, despite Team Pandemonium having a Freya, still the later it gets to the game, the more she's going to be doing. I mean, already, we've seen these crushes be devastating in team fights and in 3v3 situations. You know, when she's starting to get off those armor monsters more often, or there's crushes just hitting more than one person, it's going to be very difficult for Team Pandemonium to deal with.
And it's going to be in about 5 minutes time at most when Scylla will be able to output a lot more damage than she's doing right now. Already has this Soul Reliquary online. Needs 1,150 more gold before it turns that into a Book of Thoth, which represents a massive power spike for Scylla. Just putting a lot more damage into those abilities, especially that I'm a Monster, which has 120% scaling.
Double tap from Liquid Renegade lands onto Rowe there, but Rowe not going to worry too much about it at this point. Vision around the Fire Giant being stripped away by Avant Garde here, making sure they have control of that object. Now we see actually a 4-man grouping on the right-hand side. Kikyomiyo taken low, but Gruff taken low as well. Power cleave into the tower. Gruff falls down to a cheetah. Here's the dishwasher. The spin to win from the Jing 10. Kikyomiyo taken low. Terra's Blessing comes through. There's the Neath ultimate as well. Divine pops up into I'm a Monster. He's looking for a target now. They're looking for the counter. It's Rowe, who's devastated there by the crush in the end, is the one that picks up the kill. And now Avant Garde, they're defending their tier 1 tower here. Pandemonium still on the attack. Kikyomiyo blinks in, but an excellent purification from Divine prevents him from being stunned into the wall. Kiki taken low, has to dash away through the spin to win from Liquid Renegade. A wall, I imagine, be coming out. The raw double tap here. Kikyomiyo Lawbringers away. Richard Castle gets the meditation to save Kiki, but up in the air. Liquid Renegade looking for a target. Is it going to be Kikyomiyo? No, it's going to be Maxon instead. Look at this, the flank from behind. It's Rob Diggity and Gruff, but Kikyomiyo manages to get away. Richard Castle and Achita, though, are in some trouble here if they don't recognize the 2 people that are behind them. Kikyomiyo teleports to the tower, tells his teammates, hey, you've got some unwanted visitors, and now they turn on the AD carry of Avant Garde.
For both ADCs there, Rob Diggity and Maxon made their rotation into that fight from the low side of the Fire Giant pit. But Rob Diggity hits an excellent triple tap, which basically kills Maxon by himself. Also able to pick up the kill thanks to the Valkyrie's Discretion, but they do clean up Maxon, which allows him to now push into this fight. Good sense of purification there for Rob Diggity. Means Kikimio can't follow up with his Fearless Power Cleave. And now it's a 3 versus 3 on this right-hand side. Look at Renegade looking to make it a 4 versus 3, though.
Doesn't have ult available for another 15 seconds, it looks like. And this is similar to last game. Like, you know, even though Kiki Amir's been getting multiple people in his Fearless Power Cleave combo, it just hasn't been enough. There hasn't been anything there to follow up for it. And, you know, maybe this Neath in the mid lane isn't enough. Kiki Amir actually spun back around with the washing machine. Rob Diggity picks up the kill there because Kiki Amir didn't have a way to get out. No ultimate. He did actually have his ultimate available, it looks like, but wasn't able to get it off in time.
And now with 4 months strong, look at Renegade going up into the egg. Road taunted in, his purification is still down. They're looking all in him. But he leaves in place. Now goes to Finn and Weevil as well. The counter engage is real, and they're going to kill Gruff for it.
Chuckles taken low as well, the pulse slowing him and doing lots of damage. Overhand smash from Row, and a basic attack is enough to pick it up, but the tier 1 tower on the right hand side is picked up as well. Look at Renegade up in the sky, Idivine over the wall, devastates Maxon here, who's finished off by Rob Diggity. Ochida's very low here, trying to sustain through Richard Castle's Monolith, but Idivine is flanking around from behind. He's looking to get off a root into a crush here. He spots out Ochida, doesn't land the root, doesn't land the crush either, but forces Ochida to stick around. Ochida locks him in place with the root, and Idivine forced to back away. But that I'm a monster over the wall, Maxon, all of his health just disappeared.
They also caught, the thing for me in that fight was the fact that the whoop caught Liquid Renegade's Mjolnir's attunement, which means that he could not teleport away, could not get away from the damage. But they committed too hard to that kill, and Maxon falls for it. That's his 3rd death of the game compared to Rob Diggity, who has been untouched this entire game.
Yeah, Rob Diggity actually has the least deaths in the OPL, a very safe player. You know, we used to talk a lot about Subfloor, the old ADC for Team Pandamonium, who loved to really kind of sit and farm until the late game and then come in and really make an impact from his team. Rob Diggity's kind of embraced that, but he doesn't necessarily wait to the late game. And, you know, whereas Subfloor was very passive in lane, Rob Diggity was always willing to take the 1v1s. And, you know, Rob Diggity, it's a little bit unfortunate for him. El Chuckles is on this team, but at the same time, it is very fortunate. But Rob Diggity's been having a tremendous split of his own. He's really been a little bit overshadowed, though, by El Chuckles.
I think the entire side of Avant have been having a tremendous split by themselves. Yes, they've dropped a few games here and there, but one of them was against Pandamonium in the previous split, and now they're looking to try and gear it to make this a 2-0 in their favor. But Pandemonium, if they get the win here, they are the ones that are going to put themselves in a massive advantage to secure themselves for 1st seed at LAN. And this is the thing, this game is going to decide who gets 1st seed, near enough.
Oh, but yeah, pretty much. There's only a couple of games left of the split. But the thing about both these teams is that neither of them have been 2-0 all split. The worst that either of these teams has done has been a split. So, you know, if Pandemonium lose this game, it'll be the first time they've been 2-0'd. Avant hasn't lost a set since Split 2 LAN. In fact, before Split 2 LAN, since I think about week 8 of Split 2.
Oh, but Kikimio stops the gold being done by Avant Garde here, but he takes a lot of damage for it, forces the Wallweaver ultimate on the Idivine to get him out of row. Looking to try and pick off Rob Diggity here.
Defender of Olympus was forced as well, but looking for Rob Diggity, should pick him up with Kikimio. He does, in fact. The basic attack was enough to secure it. Maxon just chasing away El Chuckles here. Team Pandemonium looking to play around this Gold Fury. Liquid Renegade is available, doesn't have his ultimate up for another 50 seconds. The Wrath is online for him, though. There is a sprint from El Chuckles as well. Maxon destroyed there by the crush. Kikimio goes in. Fearless Power Cleave onto Idivine, just keeping him away, but Idivine's done his job. He's done the damage here. Sanctuary comes out from Divine as well. I'm a Monster is popped as well. Turns around, doesn't land it on anyone. Rose looking for the kill, but an excellent wall from Liquid Renegade keeps his mid laner alive until Rowe hops over it and picks up the kill. El Chuckles dives in now, picks up Rowe, and now it's just Kikimio and Richard Castle left. Actually, Ochida's here as well, I should say, and now they should be able to pressure down this tier 2 tower on the left-hand side. Ochida with a Jotun's Wrath online, a lot of structured damage coming out of him.
No, we were just talking about Rob Diggity being a safe player, and then he goes ahead and dies. It's the Caster's Curse, and the tier 2 tower is certainly looking like it may be afflicted with one as well, as the 3 members stronger Pandemonium look to try and take it down, but Ochita left by himself and hung out to dry. But he's going to get out thanks to that backflip as well, and Kikimi and Richard Castle put themselves in a position to help defend, but up in the air goes Liquid Renegade, lands down and misses everyone.
And Ochida manages to really get out alive. He's being chased down. Spin to win from Liquid Renegade. Ochida backflips. The wall comes through. Liquid Renegade gets the kill. Kikimiyo's walled off from Fearlessing Liquid Renegade. He's actually caught between 3 now as Rob Diggity comes back. The double tap lands from Rob. Spin to win and the Dishwasher combined. A lot of whirling blades there. Rob Diggity picks up the kill onto Kikimiyo. 3 members of Pandas are down. So Avant, go ahead and start up the Gold Fury.
And the Wrath is down from Liquid Renegade. There is no big burst here to secure this objective, but with only 3 members up for Pandamonium, and they know where they are. It's a pretty gold fury here. In fact, El Chuckles, recognizing the fact that Maxon is going over to his right-hand side, is going to go ahead and teleport over to try and defend the tower, but he's going to set himself up for a gank here with Eye Divine.
Maxon needs to be very careful. He does have Valkyrie's Discretion available. Knocked up to the roof. Valkyrie's Discretion is popped. Eye Divine does have Armor Monster. He's going to know where Maxon lands. Maxon, though, wants to take the fight here. The pulse is enough to secure the kill onto Eye Divine. That Freya is chunking, and she is life-stealing. Chuckles taken very low as well. Here comes Rob Diggity. Knocks up Maxon. Maxon doesn't have an escape now. Here comes the Armor Monster from Ro. Maxon using the pulse, trying to save up the life here, but the Suns are enough. Maxon stuck around too long. Neat ultimate is taken by Gruff, and Liquid Renegade lands onto Ro. Gets the double tap and the spin to win. Ro, overhand smash, no tower here for him available. Now Richard Castle's taunted and Ro sticking around as well, but Avant Garde turned that fight to their advantage.
I mean, the Suns at this point in the game are doing 120 plus 25% of your physical power per Sun.
Plus as well, a 5% damage increase for every 10% of Maxon's health he was missing with the Mark of the Golden Crow, which was on him. You know, with 90% of his health missing, which it was at the end, that's an extra 45% damage.
And that, the Sunbreaker were basically 100-0 in Maxon there.
Exactly.
Even managed to kill Freya through a tremendous lifesteal. I mean, yes, got 50% extra thanks to a passive, but it also has the extra 8% from this talent trick, which is most likely going to go into a Pythagoras piece. We've seen it favored a lot by mages recently.
The only thing with me with the Pythagoras piece for the Freya is who is he helping? And you can see he's gone with the Bankrupts here for the extra power and for the passive on it. The Pythagoras piece, the only other magic damage on his team is Richard Castle, who's not going to be doing that much. Yes, it gives you cooldown reduction, but with Freya, you just want raw power, which is what he gets from the Bankrupts.
Yeah, well, with the aura magical power that you get from that Pythagoras piece, you also increase the healing coming out from Richard Castle's Monolith.
That's true.
It's a very minute amount of healing, but very minute numbers, like 5-10 extra healing overall, could make a world of difference. And it could make a world of difference here for Richard Castle as he gets dove underneath his tower.
Excellent Fearless Power Cleave there. Ro jumps into the Jing 10 ult is coming through as well from Ochita. And now look at the backside of the fight here. Gruff is taken very low here, forced to dash away. Sunbreaker ultimate comes through again. Eye Divine is a monster here, looking to try and hit someone with the ultimate, trying to find the perfect situation, doesn't land it. Maxon's now chunking the rest of Avant Garde. Rob Tiggity taken low. Kikyo chasing through, but unable to find the kill here. Good route from Eye Divine. Pandamonium played that fight about as well as they could have, but didn't get any kills. It's the follow-up now that they are looking for. They're pushing Avant Garde away from this fire giant.
Bro blinks in there, looks for the Sacred Monkey, unfortunately hits the wall with it. Again, just an unfortunate bullying coming out for Rose. The second one this game he's had. But again, when we look at builds right now, nice build coming out from Kikami with the Midgardian Mail means it's very difficult for Diggity to keep soloing him down, as well as the Matchhouse Blessing from Ro eats up a CC, which means he doesn't have to burn his Purification as often. It's good counter build coming out from Pandamonium, which is allowing him to stay relevant in this late game.
Look at Kikyo chasing away 3 people here. Liquid Renegade is behind him here. Look to trap him in if he's got some follow-up, but it looks like Pandamonium are just happy to have Liquid Renegade be distracted because they're going to take the tier 2 tower on the right-hand side. Defender of Olympus channeled onto Eye Divine here. Down comes Gruff. El Chuckles is around as well, but Ochita backups away. Kikyo, I mentioned if he gets trapped, he could be in some trouble here. Fearless Power cleaves away too, but he's all by himself. Heals up off the back Harpies. Liquid Renegade, Rob Diggity chasing him down, and the rest of Avant are chasing down the other 4 members of Team Pandemonium. Kikyo looking to hook up with the rest of his team, and now Avant Garde wants some revenge for losing their tower here. Gruff goes in, taunts Richard Castle. Richard Castle, very low mobility. Excellent wall from Liquid Renegade and the crush from Eye Divine as well. Chuckles using that ultimate and picks up the kill onto Richard Castle, and now it's a 5v4 situation. Avant Garde on the attack. Root comes through, but an excellent Fear No Evil from Ro peels away Eye Divine and saves the life of Maxon.
Pandamonium staying in there a bit too long. Richard Castle falls for it, and they also have to use the Fear No Evil just to save Maxon. And whilst Kikyo was over on that left, over on those back harpies, he was only like 2 people.
Maxon and Ro trying to do the speed buff, get caught out by Gruff, and El Chuckles, a double tap lands onto Ro, and now it looks like Maxon might be the target here, forced the Valkyrie's Discretion away, and now he doesn't have that tremendous ultimate available. Ochita uses his ultimate onto Eye Divine, but bloody blocked excellently there by Rob Diggity, and now Kikyo is in a little bit of trouble.
I think that was an involuntary body block, thanks to that Sendal coming out from Eye Divine saying, "Here, take this for me. I don't really want to, but you're taking it anyway."
Righty, now Team Pandemonium on the defensive a little bit here. Ro and Kikimio trying to defend the speed buff, but Avant take the big minion and the buff and walk away here. I want to take a look at the graphs. It's actually in favor of Avant here, 2,700 experience, 2,300 gold.
Yeah, and I'm having a look at iDivine right now. It really is the focal point right now of this game is, can this Scylla's I'm a Monster do the damage in the fights? I mean, you're also having a look at the Crushes right now as well, thanks to their recent buff. 90% of your magical power then goes into the Crush as well, on top of its 320 base damage at this point. I mean, the Crushes right now, with a 600 magical power, are doing about 900 per Crush, and that's even without the 6th item being built out by iDivine.
And that's without a red buff as well. And
that's
with
another Vine buff as well.
Yeah, and with a Celestial Legion helm as well. Liquid Renegade chunked in the mid lane here, manages to teleport away. Chuckles playing disruption there for his team, and Liquid Renegade an excellent wall to stop any further basic attacks coming out from Max. And Terra's Blessing was popped by Richard Castle for some extra movement speed online for Team Pandemonium. It's faded away now, and they look a little bit indecisive here, not quite sure what they want to do. There's 3 of them hanging around in the jungle while Cheetah and Maxon are in mid, and it looks like this tier 2 tower in the mid lane is their objective. Rob Diggity hiding off to the side, waiting for an opportunity to get an auto attack or his Ricochet or Suns down here. And Pandemonium, unsure, they don't have the vision in this area, going to back away towards the Fire Giant pit. Gruff goes in, taunts, but Cheetah manages to backflip away. And now Team Pandemonium just starting to get split up here.
I don't think that other god they'll have the CC available to then just burst out this tier because of his mitigation. But a good fear, no evil, then the engagement happens. Gruff is immediately eliminated.
And a wall from Liquid Renegade actually stops Chuckles from his team, throwing Pandemonium back into his team. Maxon gets a kill. Pandemonium are winning this fight. 5v3 situation. Liquid Renegade uses his purification after he's whipped up. Maxon's got himself a double kill. Kikimio fighting 2v1 here. He could fall down. The crush is devastating. Rob Diggity picks up the kill, and he manages to jump away. Maxon, though, should pick up the kill here in a second, and he does. Triple kill for Maxon, and Team Pandemonium should get the right-hand side Phoenix for free. If they push hard enough, they might be able to win. It's just iDivine left to defend here. He does have tremendous wave clear as a Scylla. Right-hand side Phoenix falls down at Team Pandemonium. Tremendous engagement. And that's all on the back of Ro. That's all on the back of that 5-man Fear No Evil.
That was a fantastic engagement. It just immediately kills the front line away from Avant. Without the front line, there's no peel for Opticity, no peel for Liquid Renegade. iDivine gets himself out with the Sentinel, but now the Fire Giant being looked at by Pandemonium. They have to be careful because iDivine is here. iDivine still has a monster, but it's been spun out by a ward.
Gruff is up. He has Defender Olympus. All they need to do is stop them doing this objective. iDivine is a monster here, looking for a target. Who's he going to find? It's going to be Maxon and Richard Castle, who are chunked down into oblivion, and Gruff playing such an excellent disruption role, just taunting and running into people and stopping them from doing the objective. And now Team Pandemonium walk away empty-handed. They can't do the Fire Giant. It's too late.
And just two people hit by him almost, not even killed, just 2 people hit by it, and the potential for Fire Giant is gone. Because he hit Maxon and he hits Richard Castle, 2 pivotal members there.
I don't understand why they didn't end. Like, the Gruff was going to be up within about 15 seconds, but the damage coming through from the Freya and from the Neath and from the Hornbats as well should have been enough to end there.
I think it's because of the fact that there's still 4 structures available on the map, which means the Titan still has a lot of protections, a lot of HP available to it. And as well, iDivine had that Armor Monster still available online. If Armor Monster was used up in the previous fight, Team Pandemonium probably would have walked in and ended there.
Alrighty. 37.5 minutes into the game. 500 experience, 500 gold. Difference between these 2 teams. Dead even when you're talking about a 38-minute game. Maxon's picked up the red buff rather than Ochita here. Rob Diggity actually picks up a kill onto Kikimio as he overextends it now. Richard Castle's caught out a little bit. Doesn't manage to get the walls off. Gruff taunts him in. Richard Castle, bye-bye, my friend. Crush comes through the spin to win. Rob Diggity gets himself another kill. And now Avant have got the 5-3 advantage here. And they're going to start up the Fire Giant. They've got, yeah, exactly, a Fire Giant call that goes badly for Pandas. They have a Wrath online to Avant, so Pandas are not going to even be able to get in here to disrupt. Ro trying to get in. Maxon trying to get in as well, but the Fire Giant's too low already. Wrath comes through from Liquid Renegade, secures that, and now they're on the hunt for Pandas, and they're an endangered species.
Oh, Maxon is caught out by himself. 1 versus 5. Him against the world. Can he run away in time? He needs to go fast, but going faster, oh my god, with that sprint of a monster over the wall. Oh my god, Maxon's HP just went away.
And now he's going to go away as well as Liquid Renegade picks up. Neath Ultimate comes through, but I mean, what can you do now? Fire Giant team, full 5-man, and now they're going to look to push down the left-hand side. Avant probably not going to end off the back of this, but they're going to get damn close.
I love the pickup from Gruff as well. It's a very undervalued item, this Emperor's Armor. Reduces structure attack speed by 30%, but increases yours by 30% as well if you are in range of the structure. In terms of tanking towers, this is the best item in the game for it. Because after about 4 or 5 shots from the tower, you have tanked it up for about 5 seconds longer.
Now they're using that to their full advantage. They take down towers on the left-hand side really quickly, take down the mid tier 2 tower as well, looking for the right-hand side tier 2 tower, and then they're probably going to look for Phoenix, if not just back, and then look for the Phoenix and possibly for the end.
Okay, Chuckles was hard enough to kill already. Not only has he got a Fire Giant buff to give him extra regen, but he also has a Mail of Renewal to give him even more regen on top of that.
I love this item, particularly when you're team fighting a lot, because just to read out the item quickly, its passive is you gain 15% of your maximum health and mana over the next 5 seconds when you get a kill or assist against an enemy god or objective. It also gives you cooldown, health, and HP 5. You were looking at Chuckles' build with 200 health on Bulwark, as well as the 400 health coming through from Mail of Renewal. He's got about just under 3,000 health at the moment. So every time he gets an assist, he's getting 15% of that back and his mana back as well, plus cooldown. It's a tremendous item.
He's getting 450 HP back per kill at this point, which really, Pandamonium can't fight into that if he's regenerating this much. With his passive, giving him extra HP 5, with the Fire Giant buff, giving him extra HP 5 as well. This Ching 10 looks pretty much unstoppable at this point, and now Chuckles, he's looking to try and force his team into this victory.
Look, they're looking to do just that, and in a tremendous position to do so. Fire Giant buff available for about another minute and a half on them. They're backed after taking all those towers. They're going to push up each of the waves. Their right-hand side, all of the fire waves are done now for Team Pandemonium after they took their right-hand side Phoenix. So now they just got regular minions. So Avant, this is what I'm seeing here right now. They're pushing up the left-hand side lane. Liquid Renegade's going to push the mid lane. He's just pushed the right-hand side lane as well. So they're just trying to get the minions up to the Phoenixes to give themselves an advantage when they engage. Look at the defensive wards from Team Pandemonium as well. I really like this because they're just going to be able to know exactly which part of their base Avant is going to look to push into. Okay,
we talked about Iddivine having 600 magical power before, without any sort of buffs, with Fire Giant Red buff and a Power Potion as well as that 6 item online. 1008!
No words. No words, but we're going to have to start talking here. Emperor's Armor, the Phoenix getting chunked. Fear No Evil used by Roe, but no one's peeled away from it. Gruff taking to about 50%. I'm a Monster comes through from Idivine, looking for someone here. Who's he going to find? He's coming down really quickly. That's a scary side of that Scylla, as Richard Castle is taken to about 50% HP. Crush comes through to take him under that mark now. Left-hand side Phoenix is down. Rob Diggity by himself, taking the middle Phoenix. It's down, and now Avant looking for that right-hand side Phoenix. Minions pushing in on the left-hand side. Minions pushing in the middle of the lane as well. Everyone is still alive at this stage, but the same cannot be said for the Phoenixes. Right-hand side Phoenix about to be start here, and Pandemonium are desperately holding on. I don't know if they can do it against a full Fire Giant team. Emperor's Armor slowing the attacks, coming out. Richard Castle's already dead as Rob Diggity claims the kill. Kiki Mio desperately frontlining for his team. Rob Diggity forced to jump away here, and Pandemonium, they're holding this Phoenix for now, but they can't hold it forever. Something has got to give here. Kiki Mio and Maxon taunted in. Maxon torn into the ground. Rob Diggity gets another kill. Kiki Mio's about to fall down. Chuckles should get the kill here. Chuckles does get the kill. All 5 of Avant Guard still alive. It's just a cheater left to try and defend, but there's no Phoenixes left available after Avant Guard take the right-hand side one down, and now they're looking to push in for the win here and find the first series victory over Pandemonium since the Split 2 finals. Titan, full HP. Cheetah, 0 HP, and now the Titan. No one left to defend it. All of Avant Guard standing around it. Titan is down. Avant Guard clean up, 2-0. They are now #1 ranked team in the OCE scene.
And it's up to Pandemonium to try and take advantage of any slippers from Avant Guard, but after this performance today, really see Avant Guard slipping up against any of the other teams which they're going to face from now on until the end of the split? I don't think so. Avant Guard, firm favourites now to go into the Split 3 finals as your #1 seed and put themselves in with a massive chance of going to Worlds.
They've got Legacy left, which I believe is their only real competition to take a game or two away from them. And then other than that, I believe it's Corvidae. So, Avant Guard, it's all on them now. Their fate is in their own hands to take that #1 seed into the Split 3 finals. So, now we are going to be joined by Rob Diggity, the ADC for Avant Guard. Rob, what a tremendous series. I just want to read you off one statistic here. Counting the Split 2 finals, you guys are currently 6-1 against Team Pandemonium.
Ooh, I didn't
yeah.
actually realize that at all.
Yeah, so now you guys, you take the series win, you take the first seed into LAN. How important is that for you guys?
It was. We really talked about it, and we actually really wanted that first seed because we wanted to prove more that we could play online as well as we can at LAN. So if we can do both better than everyone else, I think we'll be pretty happy with that.
The Scylla pick. I talked about it in the pick and ban phase. You guys all played some picks that you either hadn't played before or you hadn't played a whole lot of. Do you think that really threw Team Pandemonium off what they expected you to do?
I think that was actually a really good thing that we did because with a team like Pandemonium, they're gonna, research. They're gonna know what we want to play. So we wanted to play something a little bit different, something they hadn't seen, and something we definitely still felt confident on. So I think that made a massive difference in us winning those games.
The Scylla pick seemed to just simply state everyone on Team Pandemonium. Do you expect that to be banned away from you guys now?
I suppose it might be, but I mean, there's still other good picks that we can take for Divine, and he'll probably carry with. So pretty happy with it.
Alpha, any questions for our guest?
How important do you feel like it is for the team as a whole to be adaptable in this current meta? Because we've seen a wide range of picks from absolutely everybody on your team.
Adaptability means we can, like, when there's changes in the meta, we can really quickly make the most out of it. The last patch notes, Scylla got buffed, we got right on top of that right away. We had no issues mechanically, so it made it a lot easier to just get our teamwork together and not actually worry about what gods we were doing. So, yeah.
Alright, before we let you go, do you have any shoutouts?
Shoutouts to the org, shoutouts to AMD, Netgear, Corsair, and everyone who came and watched the stream tonight.
All right, thank you very much, Rob. Now going to talk to the captain and jungler of Ro. Ro, what a series. Some excellent games there from both sides, but unfortunately, Avant managed to edge you out in both of them. Talk to me a little bit about your preparation heading up against Avant Garde in this one. What were you guys really looking to do against them, and kind of what do you think went wrong?
It's kind of unfortunate this week we didn't really have any preparation. Just like multiple circumstances turned out that we didn't really get any scrims, like power going out, internet going out, and stuff like that. But that's no excuse really. I think in the end we just played pretty awfully and drafted pretty awfully.
So now you guys are currently sitting in the second seed spot. I believe last week we talked to you and you didn't really think that was going to be a disadvantage heading into this LAN. Do you still feel this way?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make a difference in the end. I haven't seen the brackets just yet, but I think Legacy and Alpha are both a step down from both us and Avant. So the way I think in the end it'll be us and Avant in the grand finals in Sydney.
So I'm gonna push that a little bit further. Legacy and Alpha Sydney aren't confirmed for LAN yet. Legacy has to take a game away from Corvidae next game to make that a reality. But out of those two teams, who would you prefer to face first?
I don't know. It really depends how boot camp goes. As far as I know, pretty much everyone's going to be boot camping. I know we're going to be boot camping for 2 weeks, which is more than any other team. But, if you ask me again before, I might have a better answer for you. But right now, I rate them pretty much evenly.
Alrighty, Alpha, questions.
Ever since you've faced this invigorated and almost new look Avant-Garde, we talked about it with Rob Diggity, you've gone 1-6 versus them. But having had that 3-set experience against them now, does this change your preparation going up against them in future events?
Yeah, I mean, our preparation, we haven't been able to ever prepare for them properly yet. We didn't expect to really face them in the finals at the last LAN, so that 3-0 was pretty unexpected. Obviously that was ages ago. This split, we split with them first. Pretty disappointing. I think we had a rough game in the first game, and then they actually dominated us pretty quickly in the second game, so it was a pretty bad week. And then again this week, getting to Word. It was pretty unfortunate that we threw up Fire Giant both games, but regardless, before that we had really, really sloppy team fights.
Alright, before we let you go, do you have any shoutouts?
No, but I will have better shoutouts next week.
Alright, thank you very much, Ro, for joining us. That's going to do it for our first set of the night. We've got one more remaining, folks. It's going to be Legacy taking on Corvidae. Now, this is kind of the one which is going to set up the entire Split 3 finals. Or at least confirm who's going and who's not. Royalty's already out of the race. Corvidae still has a slender shot. They have to pretty much 2-0 from here on out. If Legacy pick up even one game, that is it for Corvidae. So we'll have to see how they do after our short break. Don't go anywhere.